All I'm offering is the truth.
So we saw some movie, and then afterwards it was raining, and it never hardly ever rains in LA. So I was kind of like, I don't want to go back to my place, even though my place is pretty close to Arclight. And anyway, I went to my parents' house, and then I got a call at like 3 a.m. that somebody had like died at my house. And it was the weirdest thing ever because they had like caution tape up, and like it was right in my front yard. And basically, I guess a guy came, and he was like burying things in my backyard for like 3 days. And he buried a lunchbox with like a milk chocolate inside of it in my backyard. And then he buried like knives and like a rope and like a bunch of random stuff. And I guess he'd been in my backyard like hanging out there and like burying things. Why I didn't notice, I don't know. And I'm just like apparently not very observant. And then I found out later that like all that stuff was there, and that he had been like pacing in my backyard with a gun. He also looked like crazy, like he was wearing like this long trench coat, and he had like a
still dressed better than your date in the zebra pants.
Yeah, he was dressed pretty nice, pretty nicely. But yeah, he was just like pacing in my backyard, I guess. And because I have like security cameras, so later when we looked, we figured out he was back there for like 6 hours or something, like waiting. And then somebody drove up that had a similar car, like that kind of looked like my car, and I guess he got confused and he thought that maybe it was me driving up. It's just like bad luck. And he like shot at this person like 6 times, and he missed because she was in a car. She drove away. And then he set himself on fire, and he shot himself simultaneously. And then later, so I got a call at like 3 or 4 in the morning. This happened probably at like 1 in the morning. I got a call at like 3 or 4 in the morning saying like, where are you? Like, can you come like to your house because someone like killed themselves there. And they were trying to just like put it all together, and they still haven't really put it all together, why it happened, or like what the person was doing, or if it might have just been totally random, like he saw me somewhere and he like followed me home, and then or something like that. But anyway, they never figured out like exactly why. So but yeah, so it freaked me out really bad, and I started staying like back at my parents' house, and then I got another house somewhere else because I felt like it was
Should we share the address?
Yeah, I should probably tell the address to that house.
I mean, are you... What? Like, do you need some Lunesta? Do you need sleeping pills? I have some. Like, the only thing I know to say to you is, like, I have sleeping pills, if Ambien, like...
Ambien.
How do you cope with something like that?
It was really, like, just bizarre. But I kind of do, like, I have, like, a fantasy of, like, diving into the story and, like, figuring out, like, exactly why it all, like, happened. Just because I think it'd be interesting to know, like, who the person was and like why they were there and exactly what was going on.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that'd make it worse or if that'd make it better, but it just seems like it'd be kind of interesting to have like
be a celebrity in your local town because you own the bread shop. You know, like anyone that has like attention coming at a bread shop, that's a thing some places.
Sounds like a rom-com. That's where's that bread shop guy?
What Lifetime movie is that?
I know, she dropped her French bread. In romantic comedies, there's always like one long French bread coming out of the groceries that's like
totally
not wrapped. For some reason, I'm always like,
looking real fresh.
Yes, this isn't France in the 20s. And so I'm like obsessed just as like in making television. I'm obsessed with the prop guy that was like, here's the bread. Like they just put that. There's this one loaf of bread that's been in every movie. It's been in more movies.
The most famous loaf of bread.
More than any actor on the planet. And basically how, we develop this sixth sense and we doubt it, and just like it's called the gift of fear, and about how important fear is.
Okay.
And there's all these incredible stories, and by incredible I mean like horrifying, of women that have been stalked and stuff. And who is the woman? Sorry, I don't want to traumatize you further. Is this making it worse? Oh my God, I already ruined your memory with your grandmother.
It's okay.
This is a nightmare, but it's a lot about the psychology of stalkers and the psychology of obsession.
I actually love that kind of stuff. Like I'm really interested in I love watching like shows about murders and like how they happened and all that.
Yeah, and a lot of that fascination is our brain when we're scared, preparing and studying and doing recon and research, basically, which is the same reason we have nightmares. Like there's a war on nightmares, and I will not have it. Nightmares are good. So are you going to be able to live alone at some point, you think?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have another place and I do stay there sometimes and stuff, but like...
We need to get you some dogs. We need to get you some big dogs.
Yeah, that'd be good.
They say the best security system in the world is dogs.
They say that the bark is all that matters too.
That's right.
That.
That's right.
If the dog has a really good bark.
Yes, the bite helps too.
That's true. But my dog has like this really like great bark, even though she weighs like 14 pounds. But now I just gave it away, so I should get a really big dog.
We need to get you like a serious dog.
All my friends were like making fun of me, saying like, you got to move out, like, come on, like, because it was funny because when the thing happened with the guy at my house, like, it was raining that night, so I went back to my parents' house. Like, I didn't even go home to my house.
I love that this guy is so dumb. He set himself on fire. Then one day it rains in LA.
I know.
The one day you can't catch a good fire.
How does a person shoot themselves and set themselves? Like, how do they even do that? Like,
so they haven't even like done the forensics on how he did it.
Well, they figured out who he was.
This is a man who's good at multitasking.
And then it was crazy too. They found like his car like a few blocks away, and there was like blood and like hair in the trunk, and they were like, "Oh, he's probably a serial killer," but they never figured out exactly like the story. And he was like taking trips. Like,
do we not pay enough taxes in California? Why have they not dug deeper into this investigation?
I think they tried. Like, they tried to dig really deep. They went to where he lived, and like he only had a mattress and like white walls, and nothing on his computer, and they couldn't like figure out anything.
How old was he?
Maybe like late 30s.
Wow.
Yeah,
He
but
took care of the problem, so.
doesn't it seem fun though to try to like, maybe not fun, but like interesting to like try to figure?
Yes, I love the psychology of stuff like this.
Like, what was going on?
But
I have like bits and pieces.
But have you like built a sort of like exoskeleton of armor, or have you cried about this?
No, I didn't cry or anything, but it's because I
When are you going to cry about this?
Should I cry right now?
At what point should we
skate?
Yeah, should we? You dried up ass menthol stick. I mean, this is traumatizing. Are you like, is there like denial? Denial's good. I don't want to take your denial from you. It's a very helpful tool.
I mean, I just think because I wasn't actually there that night, it helped a lot, because it's like, if I didn't actually experience, like, I almost feel worse for the person who was like, I do feel worse for the person
woman
who was in
who
the car. I mean, that must have been horrible. I never like met her or spoke with her, but that was probably really scary. Like, could you imagine being in a car and like all of a sudden someone's like shooting at your car?
Unless she was stalking you also. While she was driving by to stalk you.
I was shooting at her.
Your other stalker shot your other stalker. They're competing over your burying in your backyard.
But you really do tell this story so like nonchalantly. You're just like, he was burying things in my backyard. There was blood and hair in the car.
The milk chocolate part weirds me out. Like,
by the way, that's
like,
my I'm just trying to like
the Horizon milk
figure
chocolate.
you out. And the biggest detail that you have emphasized was there was milk chocolate. You're like, I'm a dark chocolate person. Who eats milk chocolate? Ew, that's the thing that is the most offensive to you about this whole story.
I mean, it's weird though. Like, all the other things add up, like rope and knives and things, but like milk chocolate.
Well, killing people is a lot of work. You need a snack.
When you have a little treat before he murdered you.
Yeah, like, what is that about?
So that house, are you going to sell?
Probably, yeah. For a long time, though, I kept it because I kept thinking, like, oh, like, I'll get over it and I'll probably go stay there. But to be honest, even before that happened, it's like a very creaky house. Like, in the middle of the night, like, you hear sounds and it seems like people are in the house because it's an older home.
Uh-huh.
So I think I was already, like, not going to have the nerve to live there even before that happened. So I'm probably going to, like, move on and just live.
So you own 2 homes. I'm putting that in the Tinder bio.
I own 2 homes.
Oh, my God.
Own 2 homes, dodged death.
Dodged death.
Dodged death. And what was the
On
other
a rainy
one?
LA night, I dodged death.
No zebra pants, please.
Some zebra pants with a chain.
So what do you want? Like, I look at someone like you and I'm just like, amazing family, amazing life. I have this theory, this is a hot take, that the fact that you had such a traumatic, horrible thing happen to you, what are the chances that would happen again?
That's true. That's the thing I said about the house.
The shoe
Nothing
dropped.
bad.
The
Like,
shoe
that's
dropped.
ever gonna happen at
when
that house.
something horrible happens to me, I get so excited because I'm like, it happened. Woo.
I lived and it's not going to happen again.
My uncle was really disturbed because when my dad died, I was like, whew, okay, that means my mom's not going to die for a while. And he was like, what? And I was like, it's just, there's no way. What are the chances?
That's just like too bad of luck.
Yes, there's like a little bit of a relief that sort of envelops me when something really horrible happens, because it makes me think I have a couple years of like serenity ahead of me.
Yeah, because you sort of know like something's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah.
And then you get your break.
Yeah. So now, so no one's going to try to kill you for at least another couple
That's a
years.
good place to be in. It happened like a few years ago, so it might be coming up to like.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually.
It might not be good for me.
So what?